네, 안녕하세요. 모스TV를 사랑해주시는 여러분 반갑습니다. 저는 주식회사 BCI에서 EB5 마케팅을 담당하고 있는 전유 미국 변호사입니다. 오늘 굉장히 특별한 자리인데요. 과거 ESCAYA 코타베라 프로젝트로 유명한 우리 홈페드사 트래블 앤더슨 이사님 이 자리에 해주셨습니다. 이 프로젝트에 대한 더 구체적인 그런 부분들을 오늘 설명해 주실 것 같아요. 잠깐 소개해드리겠습니다.
So, my name is Trevor Anderson. I'm the director of EB5 at HomeFed Corporation. I've worked with HomeFed now for over 10 years, but I've been managing the EB5 program for over 8 years when we launched our first EB5 offering called ESCAYA.
Can you give us a brief overview over your company, HomeFed Corporation?
So HomeFed Corporation is a real estate development company. We've been developing communities around the United States for over 30 years. We are actually wholly owned by another company called Jefferies Financial Group. Jefferies is traded on the New York Stock Exchange and currently has a market cap of over $16 billion. So we're well funded and we're one of, if not the only publicly traded company participating in the EB5 program.
Coming from sunny San Diego, how to feel in, winter season in Korea?
It's chilly here.
Wow.
It was about 75 degrees back home, Fahrenheit, of course. So coming here where it's about 35, it's a bit chilly. Mm-hmm. San Diego is known for having some of the greatest weather in the world, but certainly in the United States, and that's what makes it so popular for so many people that want to live there.
Wow. So I'm pretty sure San Diego is a very nice town to live, right?
It's a beautiful place to live. I was born and raised in San Diego,
wow.
So I may be a little biased, but it truly is a beautiful city. Just beautiful weather, sunny year-round. We never get snow. Mm-hmm. We get very little rain. Truly, it's paradise.
Wow. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about your previous project? Like, what led HomeFed to use EB5, funding? I mean, what is your approach to the EB5 program?
Yeah, so HomeFed discovered the EB5 program almost 10 years ago. We don't have a history of using a lot of financing in our projects. We typically develop with cash, and that allowed us to put our EB5 investors in the first position because we don't have a lot of bank debt in our projects. So HomeFed discovered the EB5 program. It was really a great opportunity for HomeFed to bring in some lower cost of capital, while at the same time providing an opportunity for investors, EB5 investors, to have a very, very safe investment as they try to obtain their green card.
Why don't we tell us a little bit more about 코타베라2 project? I mean, just could you briefly introduce 코타베라2 project and give us an update of its construction progress?
Yeah. So 코타베라2 is HomeFed's third EB5 offering. It's our third project in the Otay Ranch master plan development. The Otay Ranch is the largest and best-selling development in all of San Diego, and it has been for the last 25 years. So we're in a very, very proven project, very proven market. The project is currently under construction. We have 3 rental projects that are scheduled to open by April of 2025. We also have land sales scheduled to occur by summer of 2025. So in the next 12 months, we're going to start seeing significant revenues from these projects already.
What are the key advantages of the 코타베라2 project? I mean, this is very important for the investors to concern about. I mean, how is the EB5 investment safeguarded?
Yeah, well, I think first, if we look at HomeFed's track record, right? We're on our third EB5 project. We've started repaying investors in both of our prior EB5 projects. So we've established a track record and a reputation as a quality EB5 partner, one that you can trust, that's going to repay its investors. But specifically, as we look at the 코타베라2 project, just like our other offerings, we always put the investor in a first position, fully secured by HomeFed Real Estate. We find that this is the safest structure for an EB5 investor.
I'm going to ask more questions. Actually, investors from malls. So could you please answer and explain about the questions? Okay.
코타베라2 프로젝트는 이전과는 다르게 은행 대출이 포함되어 있습니다. 은행 대출로 인해 EB5 투자자는 후순위인데요. 이는 상환에 있어서 불리한 것이 아닌가요?
Yeah, so we do have some bank debt on this project, which we did not have in the previous two EB5 offerings. We've determined that it's in our best interest to use a little bank debt in this particular project. And the bank does have a first lien, a first priority, in this case on the 3 rental projects. But the EB5 investors have separate security. So bank has security on the project, EB5 investors have security on the land. So both are essentially in a first position. The bank does have repayment priority on the apartments, but we're expecting net cash flows on this project of almost $800 million after repaying the bank debt. So needless to say, there's still more than enough cash available to repay our EB5 investors, which are always secured in a first position by home-fed land.
모기업인 제프리스 금융그룹의 자회사임을 알 수 있는 자료가 있나요?
Yeah, Jefferies puts out a quarterly and annual financial statement with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And in those reports, HomeFed is clearly disclosed as one of its entities. And in those reports, you can see HomeFed financials and also disclosures on the current EB5 offerings.
이전 프로젝트와 달리 코타베라2의 상환 방법이 토지매각인 이유가 있나요?
Yeah, in the first 2 projects, ESCAYA and 코타베라2, we had a partnership with the home builders, which allowed us to create a larger capital stack and count more jobs towards the EB5 program. For 코타베라2, we determined we didn't need the extra jobs. We get enough jobs from the construction of the 3 apartment projects and the land development. And so we didn't need to add the extra layer of risk that comes from building and selling the homes. So we are just selling the land and developing the apartments. So much safer and a shorter investment timeline for the project.
투자 기간에 있는 1년 연장 옵션은 무조건 연장된다는 것인가요?
Yeah, so the investment's a 3-year loan with 1 extension, so maximum 4 years. We do anticipate using that extension, and I think as an investor, you should expect that extension to be exercised. It's at the discretion of the borrower, at the discretion of HomeFed, and so it's not for certain that we will exercise that option. It's a safe bet to assume that we will use that 1 option and making the loan a maximum 4 years.
관리 수수료 후불제, 투자자 입장에서 믿을 수 있는 혜택인가요?
Yeah, we're really excited about this deferred processing fee. We think it's a great opportunity for investors with a lot of benefits. Obviously, only having to invest $800,000 instead of $870 is the obvious benefit. It's easier to come up with $800 versus $70. But also, if you consider that you can keep that $70 in your pocket, you can invest it, and during the next 4 years, you can actually make some money on that $70,000 instead of paying it out. The way we've written the deferred processing fee agreement, we only deduct that $70,000 processing fee after we repay the full $800,000. So it actually creates an additional incentive for the project, for HomeFed, to repay the full capital investment.
모스의 고객이 유독 많은 것 같은데 특별한 이유가 있나요?
Moss Consulting has been our number 1 partner here in Korea for about 8 years now. Fantastic to work with, very professional. The EB5 process takes time. So you want to work with a partner that's going to be there in 3, 4, 5 years. So Moss Consulting, I can tell you from experience, is very professional, very reliable, and we're lucky to be working with them here in South Korea.
EB5 개발사 입장에서 모스를 특별히 추천하는 이유는 무엇인가요?
We've now been working with Moss for about 8 years between our 3 EB5 offerings. In total, Moss has provided us more than 50 EB5 investors. They are truly professionals. They take great care in what they do. The EB5 investment is long-term. You want to make sure that you're working with a partner that's going to be there for you from start to finish. So we're very proud to be working with Moss Consulting. We consider ourselves very lucky to work with them. We hope to continue working with them for many more years.